Alright guys, we might have a little bit of a problem. Recently I just made a video explaining all you need to know about how to make an iron farm. And well, this is my current iron farm in my hardcore world. And I think it is due for an update. So let us fix this problem. Alright, so you see I made this farm very long ago. I think it was episode 3 of the series. And it has done me well so far in the series. But I do need more and I hate having to AFK for long periods of time just hiding in this little hole, waiting for all the iron to spawn. So in today's episode, we're going much larger, and we're going to take my own advice and make a larger farm. So first thing we need to do is we need to gather the resources. So we need the blocks, all the different water, and we need a better place to put it. I think I'm going to keep this one here for now, just for nostalgia's sake. Nostalgia's sake. And we need to find a better place to place a farm. So in my world, I've been placing most of my farms in my tower. But if I want a farm larger than this, it's not going to fit. So we need to locate a better area for a farm to go. So area number 1 option is down here. But down here is going to be my massive pier village eventually that I'm going to build. That's going to go off into the ocean here. And it's going to include a bunch of cool little things. But that might not be the best place for it. We've got over here by my hardcore museum monument where all the different things in the game are going to be put, so not a good place for this either. So we also have my village where I've been doing my cherry village, which needs a very soon update to include more village houses as well as some custom trees because these original vanilla Minecraft ones just aren't doing it for me. I want a massive tree, and maybe that's what I'll do. I know iron farms have to be far away from a village, so maybe what I'll do is I'll find the furthest edge. Let's go up really high, take a good look, and I think this is close enough to what I need. I think this is still within the cherry village, but that doesn't really matter. I can put the cherry trees wherever I want. So let's free cam it up here. I think over here might be a good idea for the iron farm. And not just because it's close to where I spend a lot of my time AFKing, so it might actually be working whilst I'm in my tower, but I think I might be able to hide it using a massive cherry tree. So the first thing we need to do is we need to design the cherry tree that's going to be covering the farm. So let's hop over into a creative world and design the whole thing around a farm. Alright, so here we are in a testing world where I do a bunch of different things for either thumbnails or placements like I designed where my tree was going to go. And up here is kind of the cherry forest. This is where the village would be, and my tower is up here. So I kind of flattened the area off a little bit, and I brought in a Lightmatica scan of one of the farms I designed in my farming video where I explained iron farms and everything about them. So this is the kind of shape it is, and what I got the idea for the tree is these kind of look like they could be massive branches. So first I need to figure out how high in the sky I want this thing. So I go to Lightmatica, I can configure it, and I can just drag this up to get a better idea. Now, if I'm going for world height, it's around somewhere up here. So obviously this is where my tower kind of reaches. So I don't want this to be kind of overshadowing it. So I think this is the max height I'm going to go for. So now I need to design a tree that's kind of within the cherry kind of idea. I was thinking maybe like a bonsai tree, but those are kind of more flat and kind of arching to the side. So I'm going to do a little bit of research, look at a couple trees, and then we'll come back and see what I kind of planned roughly, and then we can make it look better. Alright, I accidentally closed OBS, and I thought I was recording for a bunch of bits of this, but I missed them. So I guess you guys just get to see the final kind of idea of the whole thing. So I've gone and added the leaves in, a little bit of lighting. I went and used the pearlescent because the purple kind of works better with it. I added in the purple terracotta instead of stone for my whole iron farm to kind of make it blend a little better. I might end up adding another branch that comes out in front of here to block most of this, but I think it's good for now. I also talked a bunch about how I have to adjust these branches because the original one over here, you can see this shoots straight up where the kind of center would be. So I had to shift a bunch of things around, adjust things, so it was more of a flat top so that we could sit the farm on top of it. So I've got all my farm, like the farm bits on top here, did a bit of changing. Didn't change the walls out just because I think the white is okay, especially at a distance, hard to see. So we've got lots of work to do for building this whole thing. I've gone and checked. It's about 8,000 of the leaves. It's only about 5,000 of the wood because, yeah, we're on NoClip. The interior, I guess it's kind of hard to see. Let's turn off the shaders, is hollow. So I managed to make this hollow so I wouldn't make the same mistake I've done for other builds where I had to build the whole thing. I think I had that problem with this tree. I manually did it and it just took a lot longer. So this should save me on a lot of materials. So we're going to have to go on a little bit of a material gathering montage for a lot of wood and a lot of leaves. The terracotta will be a little bit of a problem because it's almost 2,000 of that and it's purple, so I'm going to have to get a lot of dye. I don't think setting up a villager will be worth it. One of like I think it's the mason guy. He can sell the terracotta, but I don't know if it'd be worth it. I think it'd just be better to gather it all with a beacon and then get all the dyes for it. So we're now going to all build this. I'm actually going to build this on a live stream. So if you're there, you saw me build just the tree. The farm will probably come later. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to get done, but I'm going to go and start collecting all the materials so the stream's a little bit more exciting than just cutting down trees constantly. So let's get to that, and you guys are going to get to see a nice little time lapse of the flashback of the building of this farm and tree. So let's get into it. And would you look at that? That is the tree done. Now we're getting on to making the farm itself. Kind of have the open gap making it look a little weird right now. But I am really proud of actually how this looks. It is a very big tree build that I'm not used to doing, but it's something that I felt like I needed to give it a shot at least. So now we have to get all the terracotta. Because I chose purple, we're going to have to do a little bit of color gathering. I'm going to have to set up some sort of farm that has every single color dye. But if we head into our sorting system over here, this is kind of just arbitrary until I get a full sorting system in place, everything. So we got this. So now we need to get all the materials for the purple dye. So let's go collect as much as we can. All right, so I've got some of the terracotta, but I need to get more, but I've got plenty of the red dye. Now I need blue dye. Thankfully, over here, I've got some blue flowers I need to clear out. So I'm just going to borrow all of these guys because I've basically run out of lapis. It's kind of crazy to think. Something you don't use very often, but I needed a lot of the blue dye for the museum stuff and all that kind of stuff. So thankfully we have a bunch of these here. Not sure if there will be enough. Might have to go either look for another blue flower area. Ooh, actually we got one right over there. So let's take them over here further away from the base. Take a little bit of color over here. Go gather some of the terracotta. Probably have to set up a nice little beacon over in my Mesa Desert area. And then we should have all the materials ready to finish up building. And then the fun part of getting all the mobs up top. Alright, a quick trip to the mesa. I got my purple terracotta, a little bit extra just in case I need to craft a little bit more. Gather a bit of cherry logs for the stairs and fence gates and stuff. And now it's time to place it in. So I kind of placed it like this. Let's see if we can turn it on, see everything. Alright, they're a little hard to see, but we're at the top right now. And it's going to go down to here where will be the collection area. So got all this to place. So it's turning night, let's sleep real quick, and then let's finish building this farm. Alright, I think I might have broken my villagers. They're in a little bit of a loop here. I'm not sure if they're keep on breeding, just constantly pick up those carrots and throw them back and forth, but it looks like it's doing pretty well. Interesting. Alright, we got our first villager up here. I've trapped my zombies into those cages so we can get them to sleep first. So let us try Get this guy in here. Drops down nicely. In you go. Come on. In you go. In you go. Forever home now. In you go. Sometime today. Hate villagers. Absolutely hate them. Come on. In. 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 Come on. What the? What? Oh, he went to the bed. Whew. Thought he just, like, disappeared. I didn't know how that happened. I guess the second he got close enough, he got into the bed. Now we just need to do that. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 22, 23 more times. Dear God, my villagers are going to need to pick up their game in my breeder. Alright, let's get to more. Alright, here we are many hours later, and I mean like 3 or 4 hours later. Those guys have been going. I've left another trap just in case any of these guys fall and die into the pit. But I've got 3 in each of these areas. Only 2 here because we already got 1 in there. Not sure why they're loving right now, but time for the most annoying part that you saw in the last clip to that guy. We need to get all these guys down into their little cages. So we're going to do a little bit of a time lapse. We still have the 1 guy yet to grow up. So hopefully by the time I go all the way around, he's had enough time to grow up. So let's get into it. Alright, 1 zombie in. Still, oh, he just grew up now, so we can finally do that last one. We got 1 zombie in, and it's already producing a bunch of iron golems. Not sure what the problem is there. Okay, that fixed it. Now we gotta get this guy in. Problem is, he might fall off. If he does, this is gonna be a massive pain. He already has a helmet, which is great. I can't place him in these areas, so we're just gonna have to hope that he does not fall out. Alright, don't want to be standing there. Let's maybe wrap him this way. No? Okay. This is going to be interesting to get him down into the hole. Not really any good way, so... maybe just block off. Yeah, he's taking up all 4 spots. So let's just play around with him, try and get him to the hole. Zombie number 3. Get that. Ooh. Trap him like this now. Now he only has 1 spot to go. And hopefully he can take a hit. There we go. Put that in, and I'll need 1 more below. And then he is my last zombie. It looks like everything's good. It's been producing lots of iron golems. Just gather up this glass, throw him into his hole, and then pretty much everything's done. Alright, that was an insanely long project. This is probably one of the most time-consuming things I've done for a single episode so far. These things like my museum or my tower were split into like dozens of episodes. This was a big undertaking, and as you can see, it is working pretty good so far. Getting them spawning in all 4 wings. My Happy Ghast is enjoying the scenery. Probably gonna have to move him out of the way just in case he interferes. Now I just gotta make sure that any of these areas aren't spawnable for the iron golems. I think they're far away enough, and they can't spawn on top of leaves because transparent blocks don't work. But I think everything's good to go. So now let's head down to the killing chamber. All the way down here. It's a nice, easy access path all the way up here, and we can get inside the trunk as well. Looks like it's going pretty well. Gonna have to pick up my materials here. Remove 1 more, and maybe put that up there. And this is just all my stuff I have to drop throughout, but we're already gotten a lot of iron. Let's see. So we've already got 2.5 stacks just from the meantime of building. Pick up these extra blocks. So I'm going to need a lot more storage. I'll also get my campfires in here just so it kills them slightly faster. This probably takes about 5 to 10 seconds with just the lava. The soul campfires accelerate that very quickly, helping get rid of them faster. And then we're gonna have a problem of storage because we've only got 3 double chests so far. And that fills up quickly, as I know from my small farm, that one's always full of poppies and such. So what I might end up doing, since I've got this space inside the tree itself, might be able to utilize it a little bit and make a like shulker loader and then have that as storage, so I'll have basically infinite iron for whatever projects may call for it. But I think fixing all that and getting more storage is going to be a problem for another day. I have spent a lot of time building this tree. I mean, just look at the size of this thing. This was not an easy build. It's definitely one of my more difficult structurally builds. Most of these, like this one, it's kind of fancy, but it's very basic with just the tower and then the spiral. This one had a lot of the organics, a lot of planning needed to go into time for this one. And it was also kind of last minute. I didn't plan it like way ahead and then slowly gather materials. This was all kind of just within a couple of days. I built it in creative, gathered the materials a little bit on live stream, built a little bit of it on my live stream, and then built the rest of it by pulling a very, very light night. But it is now working. We've got good iron. I'll probably figure out a way to turn that one off without destroying it, just because I don't really need to get rid of it, but it'd be nice to keep it just in case I want to have sort of like memorabilia for this world and stuff. It's my first iron farm, so it might be cool to keep it, but just disable it, so maybe I'll cut the line of sight between the zombie and the villagers. Is that guy stuck? Ooh, that looks like a problem. I'll have to investigate that. That shouldn't be happening. Let's take a quick look at this. Shouldn't be able to get up on the side here. So something went wrong there. But I guess maybe he bobbed up just enough. It's hard to tell. Let's turn off these shaders. Yeah, I guess if he spawns here, he might have just enough time to jump up. But that is a problem. Again, that will have to be maybe looked into later. Farm should be foolproof, but it's obviously not. Nothing really ever is. Let's get our happy ghast out of here, and that's going to be it for today. So if you enjoyed this episode, please leave a like and subscribe for more episodes coming soon. Until next time.